Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. Those who got past the clickbait title of Star Wars fans are idiots. Now, for those of you who are going to watch this after the fact, after the stream is done, are going to wonder, wait, Darth Sinovia, aren't you a Star Wars fan? Why are you putting a title of the video, Star Wars fans are idiots? Well, I did that to get people's attention. And the one thing I'm disappointed about YouTube, and I really fucking think it's bullshit that they don't have the dislike button anymore, is it would have been interesting to see how many dislikes this video would have gotten as a result of the title alone. And anyway, I don't do Star Wars related content very often outside of my Legends reviews. And I figured, you know what? I'm hated by the Star Wars fandom anyway. The Star Wars fandom as a whole can't stand me. And the feeling is mutual. And I don't understand at this point why I just didn't do this kind of video sooner. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to rant and rave about how I think the Star Wars fandom are idiots. Now, for those of you who are normally here for for my other takes, this is a Star Wars exclusive stream. So I will not change the topic, and I would appreciate it if your comments are on topic. Anyway, this only applies for those who are currently watching this live. Now, I'm going to get to the meat of this, stream. Why am I even doing this in the first place? Why am I even bothering even doing a stream that the Star Wars fandom are idiots? Now, I had other titles I thought about before doing this stream, but it's too wordy. So I just did something simple. That's the main reason I just put Star Wars fans are idiots. Because that's how I feel. And if I try to clarify in the title, like 85% of the fandom are idiots or whatever, it would not have, the same thing that people can easily find. I'm disappointed in that the dislike button does not exist anymore. But anyway, it's bound to get some attention because, claiming that the Star Wars fans are idiots, what evidence do I have to back it up? Well, I'm doing this based on my personal interactions with the Star Wars fandom since 2014. And it's just the average fan is just so fucking dumb. From stupid takes to not understanding how retcons work, what a contradiction is, or simply speaking about something they know nothing about. All this shit, it just made me wonder why I did not do something like this sooner. I know a lot of people who like my Star Wars content love for me to rant about the Star Wars fandom, and guess what? I'm giving you what you want. I'm giving you a rant. So for those of you who have followed me for years, no, I don't think you're an idiot. For those who actually follow my content, who actually enjoy what I do, who actually truly appreciate every Star Wars review that I've done, and not be one of those ungrateful bastards that, turned on me the moment I decided to not go with the flow. And the reason why I say that Star Wars fans are idiots, at least I'll just start, is they're incapable of critical thinking. Critical thinking and Star Wars don't go together. And why do I say this exactly? Why? Because every time there's a discussion on anything Star Wars, anything for that matter, all I see nowadays is his stupid takes. And it's just, this stupidity is never called out. And you have this false image of the Star Wars fandom being pushed that, Star Wars fans don't put up with anything. Star Wars fans are actually very tolerant. Star Wars fans are this. Star Wars fans are that. It's like, no. The Star Wars fandom is a fandom full of reactionary fucking idiots that fucking don't know anything. All they do is complain about the stupidest shit. And I'm not just saying this to the fucking right-wing fandom menace fucking grifters. I'm talking about the people who support Disney as well. So, yeah, the Disney side is not safe under my fucking watch. And the reason why I've been silent for so long, because I foolishly thought, you know what? It's not worth it. You know, what's the point? And realize with being an outcast of the Star Wars fandom at this point, fuck it. No one's going to give a shit anyway. And some of you who are watching this are probably going to think, Darth Sinovia, you're preaching to the choir. Nothing you say is anything new. And you know what? You would be correct. But I'm doing this for myself. And considering that everyone who watches this, who enjoys my content, don't deny it. You enjoy my rants. You enjoy me ranting. So I'll give you what you want. And I'm giving you what you want, and also doing what I want. So it's a win-win. So now, what is the thing that really frustrates me about the Star Wars fandom is not understanding what a fucking retcon is. I mean, my God, you can't even have a discussion with the Star Wars fandom regarding what a fucking retcon is, because they think retcon means, oh, this story is no longer canon because it contradicts this, and this, and this, and that. And do you guys not realize you can fucking do a quick Google search to find out what a retcon is? I mean, good God. It's almost as if these fucking people are incapable of critical thinking skills. And I'm not just talking about those who hate Disney Star Wars mindlessly. I'm talking about those who mindlessly defend it. Who every time the very topic of the sequels are brought up, and no, I don't believe that Disney is going to write the sequels out of canon. A retcon is not declaring something non-canon. And those who claim, oh, Disney's not going to retcon stuff that made millions of dollars, like, you guys are fucking stupid. You really are fucking dumb. Because that's not what a retcon is. And I'll even read a definition of what a retcon is. A retcon is, in a film, a TV series, or other fictional work, a piece of new information that imposes a different interpretation on previously described events, typically used to facilitate a dramatic plot shift or account for an inconsistency. Where does it say about decanonizing something? That's what a retcon is. So yes, the sequels are going to be retconned, but not in the way you fucking idiots think it's going to be. Fucking, the sequels are still going to exist. The sequels are still going to be canon. The sequels are still going to exist in the Star Wars universe. It's like, how can you guys not know this basic shit of what a retcon is? It's a fucking retcon for a reason. The sequel trilogy is a retcon to the originals and the prequels. Oh, but yeah, I guess you're silent. But when the moment someone mentions, oh, the prequels or sequels will get decanonized, or they'll retcon the sequels. No, that's not what it entails. That's not what it means. You guys can literally search the definition of a retcon with a quick Google search. Google is your friend. Use it. Why do you fucking insist that you guys are so dumb? Why do you guys purposely act like morons? Like the stupidity of you people. And you know what? Nothing I say really matters at the end of the day. There's other more important issues that's going on. But the very fact that, we're still having this discussion of what a fucking retcon is, it's fucking hilarious how people can misinterpret what a retcon actually means. Those who are anti-Disney, those who mindlessly defend Disney, it's like, how stupid do you have to be to actually freaking believe that retconning something means, oh, that's no longer canon? No, it's adding additional information to account for inconsistency. That's what a retcon is. What is? Oh my God! I can lose brain cells just thinking about this because how dumb these pro Disney Star Wars fans are. When the very concept of a retcon gets brought up, they lose their fucking shit and fucking like, oh, they think, oh, gotcha. Disney's not going to retcon something because it made billions of dollars. It's like they're doing it right now with the fucking Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and whatever future shows are going to come out. Fucking retconning it right now. The sequels are still going to exist. They're still going to be part of the overall canon of Star Wars. So a retcon doesn't fucking mean that it's no longer canon. It's like, and those who fucking spread this stupid novel, it's like, I don't understand how anyone can be that dumb not to understand what a fucking retcon is. I mean, seriously. And the only reason I'm bringing this up, because the sequel trilogy, I'm not going to defend this shit. Nor am I going to fucking say, oh, we should retcon this. Because retconning doesn't mean that this stuff no longer counts. And that's the thing that these people don't fucking stand. Those who support getting rid of the sequels and those who support keeping them. They think retcon means getting rid of something. And it doesn't mean that at all. Because if that was the case, that you would have comic books throwing stories out of their continuity left and right every few years. No, that's not what happens with a retcon. A retcon, and I'm going to read this again so I could slam it into your numbskull's fucking head. Another definition is revise an aspect of fictional work retrospectively, typically by introducing a new piece of information that impose a different interpretation on previously described events. You see what I'm talking about? 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 It is nowhere does it say delete something from canon. It's like, this shouldn't be a controversial fucking term. It shouldn't be controversial. And I'm gonna read another definition on as well. I just don't understand how anyone could like not understand any of this shit. It's like, my God. Retcons freaking have existed for so many fucking years now. It's like, how can anyone fucking not understand what it actually means? It's like, no website, if you look up the retcon, means freaking it's no longer canon. It no longer happened. Now, since we're explaining retcon in the Star Wars sense, every retcon that has ever happened in Star Wars, whether it's in the movies, whether it's in the EU, whether it's in the new canon, it never means that these stories no longer happened. It's basic shit. And I wish people would fucking look up the definition of a retcon and stop fucking with your stupid, childish nonsense about retcons mean deleting something from canon, because that's not what it means. It's never meant that. Anyone who actually tells you that is a moron or deliberately lying. And I'm convinced it's actually the people are a moron, because I feel like, how can anyone like not understand such basic shit like that? Because if a retcon literally meant something was deleted from canon, then that means you'd have stories constantly deleting aspects of their canon all the time, and the stories would be a mess. No, that's not what a retcon fucking is. Retcons have existed for many years, and they'll continue to exist, and those who lose their shit, it's like, oh, I fucking hate retcons. Sorry, buddy, but retcons are a big part of fiction. They're an important part of fiction, because if there was no retcons, there'd be no way of telling a story. You'd be stuck. You would not be able to tell new stories or expand your story or give more context to an event in a story or a character if you didn't have retcons. Retcons are not good or bad. It's how they're used. And what the sequels, tie-in shit that's doing right now is essentially a retcon. It's giving further context for the sequel trilogy, why the galaxy is in the state that it's in by the time that The Force Awakens begins. I'm not even defending the sequel trilogy. I'm just explaining that, like, this is what all these shows are essentially doing, giving context. Context. I just wish you fucking people would just open up a dictionary or go on Wikipedia or anywhere to look up the definition of a retcon. It would save us so much fucking time and effort. There's so many dumbass takes. And if you actually think fucking retconning the sequel trilogy is actually going to mean that these movies no longer happen in the continuity, you're fucking stupid. You literally are stupid. People who just throw retcon this, retcon that, retcon this, retcon that, don't know what they're talking about. It's the same with a contradiction. People throw out the word contradiction so loosely now that it doesn't mean anything either. It's abused even more than retcon. A contradiction is when a piece of information that contradicts what was previously established is introduced. That's a contradiction. And a retcon can solve the problem of a contradiction. But they're not the same thing. A contradiction becomes a plot hole too. It's like plot holes, contradictions, all this shit is fucking misused. It's like, I doubt the average Star Wars fan even knows what a plot hole actually is. It's fucking hilarious. This is how Star Wars fans, how they can't even grasp basic fucking things in storytelling. And I say this for certainty that the average Star Wars fan is stupid. Stupid beyond belief. It's like, holy shit. How many fucking times do I have to explain what a retcon is? I can explain it until I'm blue in my face, and these retards still won't fucking get it. They still won't fucking get it. They still won't fucking get it because they're dumb. They're dumb. They're absolutely dumb. Yes, the Zelda franchise does retcon itself. Yeah, it does. But let's be honest here, Zelda is a video game, so it doesn't really matter as much if it retcons, stuff that's established in other games, because it's a video game. But Star Wars is a multimedia franchise with books, comics, video games. And if you want to start an argument with Star Wars fans on any forums, just mention the word retcon or the sequels, and you'll get all sorts of reactions. And I don't know if you know this, you stupid Disney fanboys. Clone Wars by Dave Filoni is a retcon for the prequels. I don't know if you know that. Yes, it's a retcon. It's a retcon. Ahsoka's entire introduction in Star Wars lore is a fucking retcon. There's nothing in the movies that established that Ahsoka existed. Yet, silence about that. Clone Wars is one gigantic retcon for this prequels and even the originals to a lesser extent. It's one gigantic retcon. So yeah, where the fuck are you when it says, oh, they never retconned the prequels? Yes, they did. The movies still exist in canon. So where are you? Oh, yeah, the originals still exist too, despite them being retconned to a degree by the fucking sequel trilogy. Everything that fucking exists in Star Wars has been retconned from some degree or another. Everything. Nothing's been exempt from being retconned. And that doesn't mean it's good or bad. Regardless, how they handle those retcons is up for debate. Whether you think Ahsoka made things better or worse for the prequels, it's up for debate. But the fact still stands that a retcon is has never met writing something out of canon, or this stuff has never happened. You know what they call something that has never happened? They simply ignore it, or they just delete it from canon. That's what that means. It's not a retcon, and it's not a contradiction. Deleting something from canon is simply ignoring what was previously established. Like the Terminator franchise. Like, how many times have you had a Terminator film that ignored the events of Terminator 3, Genesis, and Dark Fate? They're not retcons of Terminator 3. They're just they just simply ignored them. You could argue that Terminator Dark Fate was essentially a retcon to Terminator 2 and 1, considering it was established in the lore of Terminator that John Connor is important to the survival of mankind. Nope, Dark Fate revealed that wasn't the case. John Connor, can be replaced by another savior. That was a retcon in Dark Fate. Genesis fucking retconned the rules of time travel in Terminator, and I'm not even going to get into that fucking nonsense. And so, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. There's been multiple examples of retcons that have happened. There's examples of famous retcons as well, like in Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, there was nothing in the first Kingdom Hearts game that established that Ansem was a Heartless of Xehanort. Nobodies did not exist in Kingdom Hearts 1. The very introduction of nobodies contradicts what was established in Kingdom Hearts 1. So, what did Nomura do in Kingdom Hearts 2? A retcon that actually gave context to previous events. Boom. That's not, whether you think that's a good retcon or a bad retcon is completely up for debate. Then you have various retcons in various other series, like Legend of Korra did a lot of retconning regarding the origin of the first Avatar and how everything else. There's retcons in the 2003 Ninja Turtles series, and even retcons that have caused plot holes. Retcons are in all the media that we consume. All of it. Not a single aspect of media that we've consumed hasn't been touched by a retcon to one degree or another. Star Trek retcons itself all the goddamn time. And it's absurd to actually think that Star Wars is immune to this shit. And to think that, oh my god, if you bring up the word retcon, oh my god, no. There's never going to be a retcon of the sequel trilogy. Never going to be a retcon of the sequel trilogy. It's always going to be canon. They're never going to retcon it. It's like, calm down, dude. Sit down, take a chill pill, okay? The sequel trilogy is never going to be thrown out of canon. So you could still have your fucking Reylo. You could still have your shitty rehash of the original trilogy. You could still have that. All the shows that are being made right now on Disney Plus are a retcon to the sequels. They're still going to exist. Calm your fucking tits and fucking relax, okay? This is why I say Star Wars fans are idiots, because the very notion of retconning the sequel trilogy, it's like, why are the sequel trilogies so fucking sacred to these people? Like, retconning these shitty movies is fucking gonna hurt them? They're still there. They're still on Disney Plus. You can still watch them on your Blu-ray or DVD shelf, whatever format you watch them in. You can still watch it. Your precious sequel trilogy is never going away. Regardless how they retcon it or how little they retcon it, you're still going to have those movies. They're never going away. Just like the expanded universe, for me, is never going away. I still have it on my bookshelf. So yes, the sequel trilogy is never going away. Relax and stop losing your shit every time the very topic of retconning them gets brought up. And no, Disney making billions of dollars off the sequel trilogy is not an argument against retconning, because it's happening right now. A lot of the stuff that was established in the sequel trilogy lore, I'm referring to the outside sources, it's been retconned even before Mandalorian came out. It's been contradicted. It's like, there's no way this shit isn't going to fucking eventually get fucking retconned, because what the fuck are you going to do? According to various sources in canon, there's nothing happened between Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens. You can't tell a story. So the very existence of Thrawn is a fucking, it's going to cause some problems without retconning. How are you going to, why didn't Thrawn, why wasn't he part of the First Order? Where was Thrawn between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens? Why wasn't Thrawn a member of the First Order? Oh, wait, because he's probably dead. He's probably dead. He's probably dead. Now, some people are skeptical about what a retcon is, and you should rightfully be. So I will give you a screenshot. I'll just show you what the retcon is so you can read it for yourself. Now, give me a second. I got to zoom, because I'll be right back. All right. I'm going to show you what a retcon is so you guys can read it for yourself, so I can actually prove it to you that what I'm saying is correct. Now, there's multiple definitions, but they're all, they all agree that a retcon means this. Now, I'm going to show this to you. Here's the definition of a retcon right here. If you guys can see it, I cannot zoom it anymore. That I am. I cannot, because if I zoom it anymore, you're not going to be able to read it. But here's the definition of a retcon. I'll even remove myself. So here it is. Here's the definition of a retcon. Pause the video when the stream is over. If you're not watching it live, I'm just going to cut this off. Here's the definition of a retcon. And here's the thing, honestly. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that retcons are always a good thing, they're always a bad thing. But the very fact that Star Wars fans are so dumb they can't even tell the difference between a contradiction and a retcon is what fucking irks the shit out of me. It's like all it takes is a basic Google search. How is it so difficult to do a basic fucking Google search? And the same can apply to a contradiction. People like throw the word contradiction this, contradiction that. It's just so dumb. I don't understand how Star Wars fans in general, how they get so bent out of shape when a retcon is ever brought up. And I know this stream has mostly been talking about retcons because the very topic of a retcon in the Star Wars fandom is enough to fucking cause intense debate. I mean, the idiotic reaction to a retcon, what is those who support retcon the sequel trilogy and those who are against it, neither side knows what it actually fucking means. And I am convinced that most of the Star Wars fandom are fucking morons. It's like, you guys claim to know so much about Star Wars lore, yet you can't even grasp a basic meaning of a retcon, a contradiction, or a plot hole. And I don't know. There's this other things I think that makes the fandom stupid as well. They believe every goddamn rumor and they accept it as fucking fact. Like, every fucking thing that comes out of Mike Zero's ass, like, I don't understand how anyone could still take that guy seriously. I mean, how many goddamn times could people like hype up all these rumors that Doomcock and Mike Zero push about this and this and this and that, whatever fucking shit that's like one of the dumbest things, and I can't believe people actually believe this nonsense. Like, oh, there's a civil war in Lucasfilm. Really? What the hell do you fucking? How are you guys so dumb that you actually believe this nonsense? What civil war? What civil war? I mean, these people are so dumb that I'm convinced Doomcock could basically make shit out of his ass that there's an actual shootout in Lucasfilm, and George Lucas is called in the National Guard in order to take back Star Wars from Kathleen Kennedy, and I think they would believe it. I think they're dumb enough to fucking believe it. I think they're dumb enough to actually believe it. I think they're dumb enough to actually fucking believe it. They're dumb enough to actually believe this. That's how dumb they are. You can make up any goddamn thing. And Doomcock probably, I don't know if he's a dumbass. I think he's smart enough to know that his audience are fucking stupid. Yeah, it's like the Star Wars community is fucking full of rumors. Fucking people who are so invested in rumors, and when they find out it isn't true, they fucking like, oh, actually, that's not what we actually believe. It's like, yeah, you do. It's like, you have people that are still convinced that the Veil of the Force in the Ahsoka show is going to erase the sequel trilogy from canon. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, how dumb are you to actually think Disney is going to erase 3 films from the continuity because a bunch of neckbeards on the internet fucking are ranting and raving about The Last Jedi almost 4 fucking years later. Jesus Christ. No, 5 actually. Fucking 5 years. Oh God. I feel old when I just talking about it. It's like 5 fucking years since that shitty movie's come out. Holy shit. Almost 5? And it's like, oh my God. It's like these people believe anything. Look at a few years ago, I did a bad impersonation of Doomcock of him reporting on what's going on in Lucasfilm, and it's like I wouldn't be shocked if they actually would believe it. It's like it doesn't take much to convince Star Wars fans to believe rumors, because that's all fucking these fans are. They believe everything and anything, and the very fact that I'm in the Star Wars fandom, I feel like I'm more than qualified to roast the Star Wars fandom, because the fucking Star Wars fandom are so stupid. Even the ones who've read, oh my God, I've read hundreds of expanded universe novels. That makes me an intellectual. No, you're still a fucking idiot because you can't even grasp what basic fucking facts are. If you actually believe in fucking rumors, like, I would expect anyone that has read hundreds of books to at least be more educated and to have more critical thinking skills. But I guess that's not something you could expect out of the Star Wars fan base, because the Star Wars fan base consists of idiotic man-children who, when they read a book, they don't actually think about the stuff they've read. They don't actually, it's like, wow, that was a great book. Or just think about the stories, the characters they've read. Nope, they just, oh, I wonder what the next book I'm going to read. They just freaking throw the book that they've read, to the side and just read the next one. That's what they are. It's just consumerists. That's all they fucking are. They don't actually think. It's like, I'm just going to say this. There's a good fucking reason why the Star Trek fandom to me, I feel like is more intellectually appealing, because Star Trek fans aren't fucking dumb like Star Wars fans are. My God. Good God. It's like, how dumb do you have to be to fucking believe everything that comes out of Doomcock's fucking mouth? It's like, how stupid are you? And not to mention, every fucking Star Wars fucking YouTuber just feels like the same fucking thing. It's like, every Star Wars YouTuber is the same. There's no unique Star Wars YouTuber. None of them are unique. They're all the same anti-SJW echo chamber that does nothing but complain about diversity in fucking Star Wars, complain about stuff they never will fucking touch. I don't think the High Republic is amazing or anything, but my God, these people treat the High Republic like it's fucking the worst thing that's ever fucking graced Star Wars. Now, I feel like I'm more than qualified to criticize because I've read it. I've read a good chunk of it. I've read most of Phase 1. And that's something I will do at a different time, Christopher Parker. I will actually do my own stream on what I think overall of the High Republic so far. And that's the thing. Every time anything is announced for Star Wars, what is the Star Wars fan base doing? Oh my God. Oh my God. Women. Oh my God. SJWs. Oh my God. It's like, I wouldn't be shocked if they find some way to fucking complain about Obi-Wan, that the upcoming Obi-Wan series, because they do something. It's like, let's not get started on how Star Wars fans complain so much about canon this, canon that. It's like, you're really going to complain about canon in Star Wars? Really? Seriously? Seriously? You're going to complain about canon? And can we all agree at this stage that having this debate about whether the expanded universe was canon or not doesn't fucking matter at this point, because it's not canon anymore. It doesn't fucking matter. Its canonicity doesn't diminish the stories of fucking Legends. The Legends stories are still good. There's still a lot of great stories in Legends. Legends is what I think of when I think of Star Wars. The first thing I think of when I think of Star Wars. There's a lot of great stories in there. Why do we continue to have this debate? It doesn't really fucking matter. But it does matter. It does matter. Unfortunately, I was part of this idiotic group at some point debating about the EU being canon or not. I was unfortunately indulging in this nonsense. But let's be real with ourselves. It's 2022. It's almost been a decade since the expanded universe was no longer considered canon, and we're still having this fucking debate. We're still having this fucking debate. It's like, why? What, we can't have the debate about the stories, how good or bad the stories were, if those stories work or not. No, we're debating about arbitrary shit that most people don't fucking give a shit about. And you have the same group of people that will dismiss the beauty of the Star Trek literary verse because, oh, those stories are not officially part of the Star Trek canon. It's like, fuck off. You have lots of great stories that are not part of the main canon. It doesn't diminish what they were. And for those of you who make it a living to have to prove that the EU was never canon, what the fuck are you doing? The only thing you're doing is basically diminishing the stories that Disney Star Wars currently has. Does Disney Star Wars story mean, do they mean so little that you have to diminish Legends because you're not confident that the stuff you are consuming in canon is good? Like, if you can't actually argue like the quality of the canon stories over Legends, and you have to use, oh, this stuff was never canon, then you've lost. You can't prove, that the canon stories are good because, oh, these are the official stories, any more than Legends fans debating about something that was at one point the official story. It doesn't fucking matter. The stories have to stand on their own. If canonicity is the only thing that determines if the story is good or not, guess what? There's a lot of garbage in that are canon, by the way. There's garbage stories. And there's garbage stories in Legends too. If you're not going to judge these stories on their own merits, you're just a fucking idiot that is fixated on stuff that just doesn't matter. And I will say this, I was a moron for indulging in this nonsense. Like, if your whole fucking existence is dedicated to defending Legends because someone is saying it was never canon, it's like, what are you doing to actually promote Legends? What are you doing? It's like, I don't see any of these morons actually going out and actually doing what I do, review Legends stories, actually talk about the books and comics, actually discuss like how good these stories are, how these stories work, how they didn't work. It actually helps spreading the word. No, they're not interested in actually getting more people into Legends. In fact, I'd argue that this community is more invested in keeping newcomers out. And yes, I agree. Canon Legends is a lie. There's only Star Wars. And I think we need to have that sentiment more. Because all I see from both of these camps is elitism. I don't see a difference between the anti-Legends crowd or the pro-Legends crowd at this point. And I'm speaking this as someone that was once part of the EU community. And since I've had years to reflect on what happened with EU Gate, and I'm bringing this up because I don't know if any of you who knows what happened in EU Gate or were there at EU Gate. I broke off with the entire expanded universe community because I wanted nothing to do with the fandom menace. And ever since then, I've been an outcast in the Star Wars fandom and basically an enemy. And you know what? I can live with that, being the enemy of both the man children that support the fandom menace and the man children that mindlessly support everything that Disney does. I'm okay with being an enemy of both because I'm free to actually give my opinions, because if both sides are going to criticize me anyway, one side claiming I'm an SJW and the other side that I'm just a right-wing, whatever you want to call it, you know what? I can't win with either side, so fuck it. I'm just going to speak my mind. In fact, that was the mistake in the first place. The whole point of the Jedi's Cantina is actually to give a honest opinion without being afraid to offending people. And if I offend people, fuck you, okay? And if you get offended by the title that Star Wars fans are idiots, well, you're the problem. You really are the problem. You guys complain about every little goddamn thing that's arbitrary, that doesn't matter at the end of the day. Canon doesn't matter. It never has. It never has. It never has. And that's a criticism I will give to myself for being obsessed with canon. I will say this. The Star Trek literary verse opened up my mind to the very concept that canon is meaningless. Because a lot of the best Star Trek stories I've been exposed to, they're not on string. They're in the non-canon literary verse. And Star Wars, the best part of Star Wars for me, guess what? Is the non-canon stories. So everything that I love about Star Wars is not part of the official canon. So the very concept of canon doesn't mean anything to me at this point, because what I love the most about Star Wars isn't what's canon, it's what's not canon. These stories of Star Wars, it's gotten me through some tough times. And I didn't come to these stories because they were canon. I went to these stories because I wanted to continue the adventures of characters that I grew up with, and characters that were introduced in the novels too. But none of these people, I feel like, truly appreciate the beauty of these stories. It's all about, this must have happened. If not, then I'm not going to read it. It's like, well, you're fucking lost. If you're going to judge the value of Legends and canon because, these stories officially happened, then you know what? You're missing out on some great material. I'm not going to lie that I have a Legends bias. I'm not going to say, oh, give both stuff a chance, because I don't think a Legends fan like myself is obligated to enjoy canon as much as I enjoyed Legends, and the same would apply to those who mainly enjoy canon. I wouldn't expect them to equally enjoy Legends, because we all have biases. But these idiots either choose one or the other. And you know what? Fuck it. I fucking I despise, the sequel trilogy, and I will always just hate it with a passion. And no one's gonna force me to fucking love it. Nor am I gonna force people to love force people who love the sequels to hate it as well. I think we can coexist. I think it's possible. But I don't see Star Wars fans anytime soon be able to accept their differences. And the Star Wars fandom in general is just a fandom of entitled man-children. They will never accept the difference of opinions. They don't have a diversity in thought. The general fandom is a bunch of idiotic, childish men and women that take this franchise way too fucking seriously. There's more serious things going on in this world right now. There's a war in Ukraine that could potentially get us into World War III. There's an economic crisis in America where things could get even worse for the working class. And these people are still more concerned with what's going on in a universe with space wizards. Now, I'm bringing this up because I think it's relevant, because the Star Wars fandom, they're so dumb. They cannot see anything past their pathetic echo chambers. Every single Star Wars group I've ever been a part of has always fucking sucked. That includes all of them, including the so-called left-wing Star Wars group. I was part of a left-wing Star Wars group. I left because it was the same as all the others. All it was dunking on other Star Wars fans, dunking on people that didn't like, the sequel trilogy. It was just all Star Wars fandom is, in a nutshell, is one side of the fandom dunking on the other. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. It isn't about Star Wars. It isn't about actually discussing these books, these comics, and discussing, what these stories mean to you, or how, you would love to see these stories continue, or what you love about these stories, what you hate about these stories. It's none of that. None of that. None of that. The conversation is usually about dunking on someone for not liking what they like, or dunking on someone for disagreeing with them, or you make a fucking sly fucking comment, making a joke, and you have fucking people going after you, or you fucking bring up facts, or you bring up the topic of a retcon, God forbid, and you fucking get dunked on. It's like, there is no good Star Wars script. They all fucking suck. There isn't a such thing as a good Star Wars group. If you're a Star Wars fan, stay the fuck away from these groups. There's like no reason to even be part of these idiots. These idiotic groups do nothing but dunk on each other, dunk on people from other groups, and the very few good Star Wars group that does exist, God forbid, if you're part of those, don't fucking join another group. If you're part of the rare, I haven't seen them myself, but if you're part of a group where the Star Wars fandom isn't fucking stupid, and you have a bunch of fans that actually discuss Star Wars, then you are the fortunate one to land in a good community. I have never been fortunate. And I don't see myself trying to ever look for another Star Wars group. I just can't do it anymore. So for those of you who are fortunate to find a Star Wars group that generally is talking about Star Wars, that actually cares about what they're talking about, you know what? I envy you. I wish I could have had that experience, but I don't have that experience. My experience is tainted because of various things I went through in the Star Wars fandom since 2015. I can no longer see myself being part of any Star Wars group. I have one on Discord. It's barely active. It's pretty might as well be dead. If you're willing to be part of it, I might invite you. I don't know. It would heavily depend on what kind of Star Wars fan you are. And it's sad for me to say this, and I did enjoy doing this video, and I've delivered what you guys want. I know the kind of things that you guys enjoy me doing. It's unfortunate. I would rather do a expanded universe review where I actually get into detail about the books that I've read and what I think the book did well and what the book could have done better, or just do a detailed thing about how this book sucks. It's like that's what I enjoy doing. I don't, contrary to popular belief, I don't enjoy ranting about people that I despise, but it's been on my mind for a while, and I know my most popular videos regarding Star Wars, and don't deny it because you know it's true, is when I rant. When I rant about something about Star Wars, the fandom, and I've ranted about the Star Wars fandom many times throughout the years, and I doubt this will be the last time. But considering the fact that I figured it'd be kind of funny to see how the Star Wars fandom will react, and well, we'll have to. Time will tell if this video will get the attention. I doubt it though, because I'm suppressed in the algorithm. But I'm disappointed that YouTube got rid of the dislike button because it would have been amusing to see how many dislikes this video would have gotten. And I know, for those of you who are watching, I know who you are. Those of you who hate watch my videos, I know who you are. Don't think I don't. I would have loved to even have your dislikes because it would have been amusing. Anyway, the Star Wars fandom is a dumpster fire. It's a reactionary dumpster fire. It's something that should be burned to the ground. There's no saving the Star Wars fandom. The fandom should die because all the fandom is a bunch of reactionary man children complaining about meaningless things that doesn't matter at the end of the day. So, yeah. May the Force be with you all. Next time, I will be doing something more positive. I hope you enjoyed this 50-minute rant. Thank you.